Welcome to the Inphamus Hour Live. I'm your host, the infamous Amadeuz, not to be confused with any other Amadeuz. I am the one and only. I am here on the Inphamus Hour. Shout out to the loyal citizens of Boom Bap Nation. And as always, our show is sponsored by 97 Piff, the first ever can of butter infused with haze and hydro. Talk about a blast from the past. Shout out to my previous guests, Red Alert and the legendary Dane Grease, and it's only right as we navigate in these hip-hop streets. The young gentleman in front of me, Project is out. He's outside. He's getting spun on every damn show in the country. Okay.
My G.
30 years in the game, still rocking.
Oh.
Still looking flavor. Kurious, welcome to the Inphamus Hour.
Thank you, my brother. What's goody, man? What's poppin'?
Nah, it's blessed to see the movement now. How amazing is it to see it in 2022 where, you know, guys like yourself, like our veteran MCs have a lane to actually release and create music, right? Because as a journalist, I always felt like it's like rock and roll, for example. Like they can wheel out Mick Jagger on a gurney, you know, like Bob Dylan. He's like 81, like, and he can, but like hip hop guys, for some reason, they were kind of counting us out, like at 35, like 33. So how amazing it to see the transformation of our culture.
I think it's beautiful. And to add on to what you said, I think also because hip hop is a young art form, so we weren't sure like how it would go into the future in terms of his, you know, older artists of his, you know, but then you see like a lot of the best lyricists, they up there, you know what I mean? In age, they up in their 40s and 50s, you know what I'm saying? Talking about, so, but yeah, it's like you're not sure because, you know, the commercial, they pump that hip hop, you know, it's for the young, it's considered like a young thing, but when it comes to this lyricism, like I tell my bro Paru, this is not track and field. If you're inspired, and as you get older, you only have more, you know, a bit more wisdom, and we should at least, you know what I mean? And if we really love the craft, we're going to get, you know, we're just going to get better at it, you know, unless we lose inspiration. And you know, in which case, then, you know, you got to fall back.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think this is the first time that we actually have like an adult class of hip hop artists, right? Because as you said, it was a young man's game. So like, for example, like KRS-One just dropped something. Right. And it's like, you know, people are still active. Do you think that stigma that artists were no longer going to be productive after a certain age hurt the way hip hop is portrayed now, especially when it comes to lyricism?
Absolutely. I think so. I think especially in certain circles in terms of the art form getting the respect that it deserves for not just talking about one type of thing. When you have grown men bringing more experience to things, as well as the energy of the youth and their experience, because they're really the ones holding the torch, because they're the future. You know what I mean? So I'm not in any way taking away from the kids, because I'm one that I put the kids first. You know, that's how I am as a dad, and in this rap thing, and I love it seeing the young kids, especially the ones that study the past, understand it, and then bring their own, because then they're the ones that are really moving it forward, and they can do something that we can't. But back with the point, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think, as adults doing it in the game, it gives depth to the art form, you know, for people to really respect it as that, and not just we out here just talking this and that. You listen, you get into depth with the lyrics, and you see that this is some real poetry. I mean, it's great. Look at this poetry with music. You understand? A poem, you can read it on paper, and it's amazing. Then you take that poetry and you add a human voice and emotion to it and rhythm to it. I mean, really, when you look at it, it's really something amazing and special. And they just write it off like all these kids just talking this, sad, you know. Yeah, sure, we talk that shit, but there's really a lot going on there. And that's why hip hop is as powerful as it is and influential. You know what I mean? Because it's there. But yeah, as the grown men do it, more people can really, really see what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Have you found an adjustment working with the new algorithm, so to say, we're releasing content, right? Because, you know, we come from a structure where an artist could kind of work a record for like 6 months on one song, and now you see guys just firing off records because we're trying to beat the computer, right? So is this an adjustment? Is this an adjustment, and like what adjustments are you making within yourself to kind of keep up with it?
Yo, it's funny you should ask that, because that's exactly what I need to be doing, is making serious adjustments. And because right now, I have plenty of material. You know what I mean? This project, Concrete Jungle, came out on Charm Wizard Records. It's a little indie, you know. And they, you know, they do their thing with it. But I got more music now that I need to come with. Now I just threw a song, Zisu Cap. I threw that out on Bandcamp. That's the first time I ever threw something on Bandcamp. I probably got like 3 followers on Bandcamp. You know what I'm saying? So I got all this music. So right now, as we speak, I'm in the process of. I just asked my man Dante Ross like for advice on some indie labels or labels that will want to work my thing, or a good way for me to put music out, because I'm really kind of a dinosaur in that sense. I got plenty of music and I'm really inspired, but man, that what you're saying right now, yeah, if you got any ideas, help me out, because I'm really trying to get it moving, because this shit's moving fast, bro, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely moving fast. Now coming up in the early 90s, I'm a little curious, you know, no pun intended, but you know, why didn't we get like a lot more superstar lyricists from the Upper West Side? Right, I kind of feel like it wasn't enough. So, like I have family on 108th and Manhattan Avenue, so it's like the Upper West Side, obviously. And I just feel like we didn't get enough guys that came from there.
I'm on 105th right now. You know what? We got yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you know, on my first record, MF Grimm was there. MF Grimm making some noise, you know, on the underground too. Then with Doom, another rap I remember. I mean, it wasn't like regular typical rap, but K7, right?
Yeah, okay, K7.
I think he was from like 93rd or something like that. But yeah, definitely should be more. But right now, there's a lot of artists. I've already collabed with a bunch of young dudes from out here. You know what I'm saying? You got Big Dog, Quiet Town, my man Avery Hooks. I know I'm forgetting people and shit. I'm good for that. I just forget everything. That comes with age too. Plus, like 60% of my brain is on rhymes, so I forget a lot of other regular shit. That's why wifey's getting tight. But yeah, but now you see the movement. You know what I mean? And I just jump on records for anybody around here. You know, and dudes are nice, and they all got their own identities, their own styles. So I'm excited. But yeah, for back then, yeah, I wish it could have been more like that. I felt like a lot of times, besides Percy and King's son, Percy being Grimm, I felt like there wasn't nobody trying to rhyme. Like it wasn't, you know, I would tell dudes, yo, listen, I'm finishing this album. I'll be in Chunk King on Friday. If you want to lay a verse, come down. You know what I'm saying? Grimm did. My man Papa Lucien from France, he was in the hood. He came down, but yeah, man, definitely. I know people were rhyming, but I didn't see it. It wasn't as prevalent. Like now I see it. I really, you know what I'm saying? I'm really noticing it, and I'm excited.
Well, why in general haven't we gotten more records from Kurious and more projects, right? I mean, it was almost like 15 years between albums. And then we do have like a splash of singles, and obviously you have made appearances on like MF Doom projects and this and whatnot. But why haven't we gotten more solo material? Was it the Sony Music situation? Like what exactly was it that kind of deterred
you? You know what? No, it wasn't that, man. It was me. After that first album, like, you know, I just didn't know what I was doing. It was just like crazy. Reality hit me in life. Like, I don't know, Christians be like, yo, I was born again or something. Maybe I took one too many tabs, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, I got touched. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the force hit me like, whoa, you know, so you call it like, you know, God. I'm not a religious guy, but I'm very spiritual. But I definitely got touched by the Most High in a certain way. It was telling me, yo, you better, you know, start looking at things more in a different way, in a more mature man type of way. So that right there, I started seeing things totally different. So I had to, after my first album, I had to chill for a minute just to get settled in my reality. You know what I'm saying? So that right there put a pause on things. And we had a deal for a second album, but they only wanted to give Pete half of the bread, and I hated how the business was going down with that situation. And I wasn't, between that, I wasn't comfortable recording again to just not have nothing. I just didn't like the business side turn me off. And then I was waking up to myself and, you know, learning myself and seeing myself in a different light. So it just that was the first pause in the creativity, you know, in the putting out music, right? So then, you know, then somebody like Doom or Grimm, they could get a verse out of me. They'd be like, yo, George, man, like on Doomsday, he'd be like, yo, I gotta finish this album. And me, I'm like I never quit rapping. I was just trying to do it, but I was like overthinking it now. I was like in a new way of form, so I just wasn't comfortable. So it's like I was writer's block because I was thinking too much and questioning my shit and going, nah, I gotta do it like this, and that shit don't work for hip hop. You know it because you a lyricist. That shit gotta just fly. So my shit wasn't flying like that, but I would still be writing stuff and like Doom could come through and be like, yo, Georgie, I need a verse, whatever. I'll be like, all right, I'll pull out paper, like, it's something that I wrote here, you know, and that's my brother. I'll spit something. He'd be like, yo, that's hot, yeah, do that. I'll be like, okay, and I just needed my brother to just give me the little cosign, and then I'll take a piece of another thing, and that be it, and the shit be hot, and, you know, cool. And then I did Fast Lane. I was on Doom shit. Then I did joints with Grimm. But in terms of my own project, I was still trying to, like, I was just overcomplicating it. Like, I was trying to, like, figure out the secret. There ain't no secret. You know, I was just trying to figure it out, like, crack the code, like, what I had to do. And I was just driving myself in circles. So that, but then by, like, 2007, you know, I was like, all right. And that's when I did the 2 album that came out on Amalgam Digital. Well, it came out in 2009, 10. I mean, but by 2007, that's when I started, like, getting it more like, all right, yeah, it's time, I can do this. And shout out to my man D, who actually polyed that deal with Amalgam. And that, when I signed that deal, it put the fire under my ass because I had an obligation. So that really got me more going. So boom, so I did that album. Then once that album came out, I've been active since then. But right after that album came out, then I was doing more songs. I released a few singles, but then I had a bunch of songs, and I just didn't have no outlet. Like, I didn't know how to put them out. Then I would just have these songs, and then I'd be like, oh, these kind of old. I'm gonna do some more, and I just kept doing shit. And I got music, but then I linked back up with Doom. I got a whole album mixed and mastered that's sitting around waiting right now. That there's just some logistics stop it. But basically, the 2 breaks in the action was after the first album. And after the second album, I was still making records, but I just wasn't coming out with them. Yeah. And I still got them. I got a joint with, shout out to G Dep. I got a joint with G Dep. Like, he did that verse like a week before he turned himself in for that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I got some, like, a couple of nice joints. So I'm going to do like I got a whole other album besides Concrete Jungle done. I got like 2 albums worth of shit in my computer right now. And then I could do like a Lost Files type of thing for that time period of like 2007 to like now, kind of. So I'm gonna try to give these people back what it is, but that's basically how it's gone down.
Yeah, no. And how important is it to have the business side of hip hop? Because a lot of young guys, they sign deals and then they end up not owning this and that, just not understanding language and their contracts. It's almost like going to court, like lawyers are talking and you're just like, you don't know what the hell is going on. So how important is that for independent artists? Because a lot of artists are watching you right now. They're like, Kurious, he came back out, he's rocking. And, you know, and you're saying some important stuff that I think guys need to hear.
It's extremely important. And it starts with your relationship with that lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So at least for me, because I'm not naturally gifted at that psycho babble they be talking. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, there's basic things that you want to own. You know what I'm saying? And that makes sense. You know, like your publishing. You know, like masters. You know, so you got to have a good relationship with your lawyer. Have a cool lawyer. And one thing I tell people, man, even if your money's not right, never negotiate out of fear. You understand? Because these people they'll throw you a little bread, but they'll take everything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, no matter what, even if you like my bro Doom said, yo, whatever you think you're worth, double it. You know, like, know your value. You know what I'm saying? And go get that, man. Because like you said, they are, what is it? We only get what we negotiate, right? Yeah. And then if you do get into some BS, just do some BS, then be accountable then and own it. And don't be like out here crying, oh, they jerked me or they did this. All right, the first time you could do that. You understand? After that, it's on us. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to take that. You can curse on this show.
Of course, yeah, you got it. Oh, yeah.
You know, you take that fucking and own it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Word up. But I would definitely say, don't negotiate from fear. Get what you deserve. Sit down with your lawyer. You know what I'm saying? And let them break it down to you and be clear and own your shit, man. I mean, to simplify it,
yeah.
Definitely. Because them couple of thousands, that shit ain't nothing. We know that.
Yeah.
You understand? That shit ain't nothing. Nothing. They're laughing when they own your shit. Ha ha ha. You know?
Yeah.
And they think most of us ain't got no bread. You know what I'm saying? And some of us, you know, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But even when we don't, yo, go work, go hustle, do whatever you got to do, but don't sell your art short letting these people play with you, man. Don't do it.
Words of the wise from Kurious.
Yes, sir.
It's going down.
Thank you.
It's going down. This is the Inphamus Hour. I'm your host, the Infamous Amadeuz. Shout out to Boom Bap Nation and, of course, 97 Piff. Now, here on the Inphamus Hour, Kurious, we have a top 5 segment. I have had top 5 fast food sandwiches, top 5 this, top 5 that. So today, my question for you, top 5 hip-hop albums of all time. Shoot for it.
Oof, man, that shit's hard, man. I'm just going to, off the cuff. I'm going to, Criminal Minded just popped in my head. That's out the CM crew, too, Criminal Minded.
Okay.
KRS joint. Let me see. I'm going to say, Operation Doomsday.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My bro, Ville. Mm-hmm. You know what? Just to make it, let me see. I got to throw let me see. You know what I'm going to say? Very influenced. I'm going to say 3 Feet High and Rising and Straight Out the Jungle.
Mm.
Yeah, for that, then I got to throw a Tribe joint in there, right? And go Low End Theory. And then I'm going to say Paid in Full.
Paid in Full. Top
and then,
5.
damn, I want to say Great Adventures of Slick Rick. Man, it's too many.
It's too many.
It's too many, man.
We often get caught up in these top 5 conversations. Now, I recently had Tony Sunshine on the Inphamus Hour, and we were having some interesting dialogue about, in the 90s, it felt like Latins couldn't crack through, right, in hip-hop. But being from New York, we always kind of identified as one, especially being Puerto Rican, right? We always identified with one. Like, we grew up with Miss Tay and Miss Johnson and Miss this, and they were kind of like, go get sugar from the lady downstairs. And,
my next-door neighbor, shout out to Jamal all my life. Yeah, Sherry. Rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? Definitely.
So why do you think that they had this stigma, like in the 90s, where like Latins weren't accepted in hip hop? Like, what was that?
You know what's funny? I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that. The only thing that would bug me out a little bit is like when they would be like an interview or something, and they'd be like, "So how does it feel to be a Latino rapper?" I'd be like, what the fuck? How does that feel? Like, cause for one, I mean, I throw a little Spanish in my rap, but it's not like I'm rapping in Spanish. So a Latino rapper, I don't know. I look in the mirror, okay, but it's like, you just rapping, you making music. So that always threw me off when they'd ask me that, then I knew. But nah, I never felt that. I was just like, you get, I thought it was cool because you might, it make you more interesting. It's like everybody got on a red hat, you got a yellow hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, but nah, I never paid much mind to it. And as a matter of fact, I kind of feel like now I notice more of that shit too, though, kind of. Like, now I be noticing some of that. You know what I mean? I pick up on, like, some of, like, damn, like, you don't know, but I guess because hip-hop is so widespread, they don't really understand in other parts of this nation how what the smell is in New York and how it was coming up in hip-hop. Like, that shit was normal to us, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And, in my block, that's how it always was. It was half black, half Puerto Rican all the time. We got some Dominicans, some Haitians, but we was, that's what it was. And I live in the Bronx now, so the Bronx is still like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's like, I don't get it, man. Yeah, that shit is still a puzzle to me. But, you feel when people act like, I don't know, like you can't do this shit or something, or they just want to write you off like you whack or something, like, I feel it. Just like everybody feels it. You feel when you're getting hated on, or, you can feel when it's some culturally motivated shit. You can feel when it's some economically motivated shit. Like, our senses are good. You can feel when people be on some racial shit. We feel all that shit as humans. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be feeling that shit. You know what I'm saying? Not from nobody that matters, though.
Oh, major key alert. So we have this new project out, and because you had so much time away, was there like any hesitant? Maybe you weren't going to get supported from the project, like with the DJs.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't expect that. I know the people that fuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I do it for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to like Eclipse. Yourself, man, you were on the list. You shot up, man. You show me mad love, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
Salute to you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But I know that, like the dudes that show me that love and that. So that's enough for me. Not enough for me, like I'm satisfied, but that's enough for me to, want and the fan base, the small but great fan base that I got. That's enough to keep me more than because I love making music anyway. I love it. But then the fact, I'm grateful for those ears and for those DJs that lock in. But I would like to expand that. And the Concrete Jungle's been a very pleasant surprise because I really, we did the record, and shout out to Road Data, who produced the whole joint. We did it, the lyrics less than a month, the whole album was done. It was like off the cuff. While I'm working on all these records, I'm doing that one fast.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, it felt good, but boom, okay, cool. But then the reception that I'm getting from it, and I kind of feel like it's like when there's a movie, right? And it's like low expectations, like people don't really expect nothing. So let's say a movie and people be like, oh, that shit probably whack, you know, I don't know, you know? And then they go see it and the shit is fire. And you be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Where in another situation, maybe people gassing the shit up, then you go, that shit was all right. So I feel like with Concrete Jungle, I feel the vibe, like the people were very pleasantly surprised, either due to low expectation or due to just not hearing me for a while or whatever, not expecting whatever. But I feel the energy from it, man, and there's no videos on the project or nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's just DJs like yourself rocking it. But I definitely feel the love, man. It feels good, too. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It feels real good. Like, I can almost shed a tear right now talking about this shit. You know, that's it for dead ass, man.
Nah, it's true. We been, now
shit,
for me, Dusty Rhodes is on repeat. That's definitely a rotation. But what is your favorite record on this project? Because we always have one.
Sandman. Homeboy Sandman. Let me think. They switch up sometimes, but I'm gonna just, I don't have it in my, I'm just scanning through the record in my head right now. And one thing I'm gonna say before I say that, I do feel, I know it's my record, but I will keep it real. I feel like this record is 8 songs, and I feel like it's so like level. Like it's not, you know, quality wise, it's a good listen. It's short, and it's like, and the songs are different moods, but they're all like right there solid. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm gonna have a personal favorite, I'm gonna say for right at this moment, I'm gonna say maybe What I Do Wrong, and you know what, and Crosstown.
Crosstown?
The first joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little bounce, you know? Yeah. But I mean, I love all them joints, man. Like Seeing Ghosts and, you know, My Kind of People. I mean, the whole thing, the joint with Asia. And the Sandman joint,
Planet Asia is active. I mean, he's rocking like it's like 95. So in your career, was there ever like an instrumental or maybe a song that you were supposed to be on that you passed up on that maybe went commercial? Or like, I mean, you work with the Beatnuts, and they did a lot of joints. So is there any beat that maybe you had that you skipped on?
You know what? I don't know that I skipped on it, and my pen wasn't active at that time hard like that. But I do remember being at Les's crib and him playing the not Watch Out Now, the joint with Pun.
Off the books.
Yeah, off the books. Yep, I remember him playing that. And I probably, like, if I was on my shit, like, but I ain't gonna lie, the way that came out, like, if you just gave me the beat, it wasn't like I was gonna be on it with them. So it's better they had it. You know what I'm saying? Come on, Pun, rest in peace of Pun. And what they did with that record was crazy. But nah, I was never like supposed to be on some shit or had a beat that, except for maybe that I could have had it, but I wasn't even, I think he was just playing me shit. That was a long time ago. But nah, not that I can recall. That would have me kicking myself in my ass right now, like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where do you see the future of hip hop? It has changed so much in the last 30 years. Like, I'm 38, and it's changed 3 lifetimes just in my lifespan. So, you know, my kids are 17. They don't even listen to half what I would listen to. But what do you think the direction is long term for the culture?
Yo, I feel like the culture's in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? This is like just the culture in general because see, but if, in terms of hip hop, it's because of the internet. There's so many branches. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but in terms of like the culture, quote unquote, even though that's not real culture, but what these corporations and what these radios was promoting to us and to our youth is very concerning. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's art, and I'm not into no censorship at all. And I know out here all kind of shit happens, and it always has. But I do feel like, yo, little kids, even in the midst of shit, we be looking up to like musicians and stars, quote unquote. And it's like, they really like making it cool for little kids to just throw their life in the toilet. Cause hip hop used to be a way out from the shit. Cause even back then you got the gangsters and the hustlers, but they still listening to Heavy D. They listening to LL Cool J. They listening to a Cool G Rap. Dudes that street, but they reporters. You know, they hardcore, but they reporters. This shit is like what we getting now. That's crazy. It's like the kid gotta be the one doing the ill shit. Like, you know what I'm
saying? Yeah.
And that right there, they could try to brush it under the rug. And I don't like nobody not get their money, but something gotta switch up. And it's an obvious motive behind that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not no game. They don't take other types of music like and take the worst, darkest form of their genre and put it in the forefront like it's their culture. Like that shit's crazy. So that's why, you know, I don't know. With that shit, I don't know, man. But it can't really get no worse. What, dude's gonna start rhyming about touching little kids or something? Like, how more demonic is it gonna get? You know what I'm saying? So, I think as soon as you grab the mic, there is, because I come from that era, there is a level of responsibility you're supposed to have. Just for holding the mic. You could express it, but there's a way to do it. You could be gangster with that shit, but it's a spirit, the way you do it. It's like, you got to know how you hitting these kids, and you got to tell them the whole story, and you got to talk to them. But that shit, and it's done on purpose, though. It's not even, I don't blame the artist. It's not the artist. The artists just want to get money. You know what I'm saying? That shit. They putting the cheese out there for us to fuck our shit up. That's what that is.
In your opinion, just from like a knowledgeable perspective, someone that's been on labels and, you know, have had deals, whose fault is this, do you think? Do you think it's radio? Do you think it's labels, the way albums were structured, where, you know, they would do funny things like give you a 3-album deal, make sure that your 3rd album flops so you didn't get the advance for the 4th album? Like, it was just a whole bunch of weird stuff going on. Do you think it's maybe the OGs not installing real hip-hop and lyricism and the principles of hip-hop in the kids? Like, where do you think this kind of stems from?
Now, honestly, I think it stems from, I think it's some, keep them private jails flooded. I think it's some money. You know, I think it's some ill shit like that. I think the music, the shit they're playing, I think it's a big commercial for putting us right where we, you know what I'm saying, where we benefit them. Like, I think that's, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm saying a lot, but you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think it's from that. I don't think it's from no MCs not putting. Now, MCs definitely have the power to steer the boat. You know what I'm saying? Somewhat. But, you know, they'll you know, once you used to go gold to platinum, and now the whole like the temperature of the climate, they control the climate. So now the climate is like, yo, you want to keep going gold to platinum, you better start shifting this way. And you better start talking this shit. You know what I'm saying? You better start promoting this, because that's not cool anymore. I mean, you hear the Too Shorts, they be like, yo, came with one positive record. They're like, nah, we don't want that shit. You know, and it sounds corny, like that's some old man talk. But really, when you do the knowledge, it makes sense. It's facts. And it's young boys out here that know what time it is. And they making music accordingly. That's why I'm going to salute them young kids again. Because the kids, they the key. They the ones that's going to make, they're the ones that's going to get it. They're the ones that's going to fix the shit. You know what I'm saying? But we got to talk to them. And we got to learn from them. And not be on some bullshit preaching to them. We got to respect them highly and learn from them. It's the same, you know? This shit is real, B. And we do, as older dudes, we do that a lot. And that's why a lot of us don't take care of our kids and all that. And then we don't even know. That's what we're doing in the hip hop music. We're not caring for our little brothers and our kids. So we need to do more of that, a lot more of that. And it starts with listening.
You know, that's a very interesting perspective, and it makes a ton of sense. For me as a radio personality, the one problem that I think I'm having with the new crop of underground hip-hop is that I'm not getting commercial records at all, like for the most part. Like if I took 20 underground MCs, like they wouldn't give me a record to play outside of the Shade 45 mix show space. Like I can't take it to the barbecue. I can't go to a hotel and fuck a bitch. I can't do nothing with these records, right? So why do you think this is? Do you think it's just maybe they're just creating music because they feel people are not listening? Do you think it's like some sort of maybe like rebellious, like, oh, fuck that, we not doing it? Like, what do you think it stems from?
I think it's, I mean, you know, with every individual, it varies, obviously. But I'm going to give my, like, general assessment of how, like, what, like, my spidey sense tells me. Like, it's kind of like, I think it's like, yo, we keeping it like this, raw, like almost like a rebellious act, like you said, against like the shit that they'll consider bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So they like, yo, we keeping it like this. So then they amongst their peers going, I'm gonna keep it more like this and more like this and more like this. And then, you know, then a brother like yourself might go, damn, well, why don't one of y'all just try to go a little just off to the left and make something different, or like a song with a more of a like a personality to it, even if it's not super happy, but something different and with like something that ties it all together that makes it a special standout song instead of just a dope ass raw joint. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like me personally, I feel like I'm thinking like you. Like I'm always on those lines. Like I like them because I don't really fit into any one of those categories. You know, that's kind of what kind of it's like a gift and a curse. Because that's kind of what nobody could put me really where, and that's why I get lost a lot. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I definitely know what I'm doing when I'm creating now. Like I'm at this stage. I mean, I should. I've been doing this shit so long. If I didn't, I might as well, you know, drive a cab or do that too. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like I finally artistically like I'm clear.
Yeah.
But let's see if I could get the other shit clear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, that's so important. I had Casual on the show. Hieroglyphics on West Coast spoke highly of you, and in this in this conversation we were talking about Lord Sear. You know, Lord Sear's my big brother. He changed my life, man. He pulled me off of National Geographic selling liquor and said, "Hey, I'm gonna bring you to radio," right? And it just so early Lord Sear. What was early Lord Sear like? Because I know he had the wild hair. He's like comedy.
Yo, he always come on, man. He just he's talented, man. He's like a hilarious. He could sing, he could rhyme, he's mad, snap, funny, cool. Like he's like, yo, he was always like that. And could DJ, I mean, beatbox. There's nothing he can't do. He could rhyme, he spins, he cracked jokes. He's like, yeah, he got it. He got the whole thing, man. He's little motherfucking crazy motherfucker, man. Yo, that's my guy, man. Nah, salute to Sear. He's always highly talented.
Yeah, man. Salute the Lord Sear. Round applause for my guy. Getting better. And on his way, new album out now, Kurious, what's next? So we have an 8-track project, you and Roll Data. That's out. Obviously, the people can get it on Spotify, iTunes. And do we have any physical copies that people can purchase?
Yeah. Go to Charm Wizard Records, our Bandcamp. Yo, it's crazy. And the physical for like your collectors, it's crazy. There's like 3 different covers for the record, and the vinyl, like it's colorful. Like the art is crazy. We got cassettes. CDs, yo, the product is dope. Like it's a must-have for collectors. Like go check that out for real.
Make sure you support that project. Now, Kurious, when it's all said and done, final question: what is the Kurious legacy? What do you want it to be? Are you done? Are you done writing your story?
Hell no. I got a real problem with that, and I got a real sense of urgency, and I got a big chip on my shoulder, like. Just in terms, it's on me. I'm not at peace with where it's at, and I got to fix the joint. You know what I'm saying? I got to get it to where it is, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I got a bunch of music. I got an album mixed and mastered that my bro Viera, before he went back to the Essence, was going to put out. You know what I'm saying? And we still dealing, you know, his family, wifey, that's my family. You know what I'm saying? So we're dealing with that project. Is like right there. It's ready. It's video film and everything. It's been sitting there. But other than that, too, I got other 2 albums worth of stuff. So right now, I'm just figuring it's going to be coming in spring, summer. Like it's going to definitely this year. You're going to get 2 albums out of me after Concrete Jungle this year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God willing, always, but it's right there. So we just got to figure out which way it's going to go. But I got a couple of things, you know, ideas of how, but that's it. But it's coming though. And if not, you're going to keep hearing. But you're going to keep hearing singles. I don't care. I'll Bandcamp them shits. Follow me on the gram. You know what I'm saying? Kurious 97 Beast. You know, for all the updates, but yeah, the sense of urgency is crazy. Like, you know, I got to make up for a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? And that's on me. So now the legacy's not complete. No, it's not even. We're going to get that shit right, Amadeuz. I ain't playing.
That's what I'm talking about. Kurious in the building. Make sure you support that new album out now, Kurious. And Roll Data. I'm Inphamus Amadeuz. Catch me on Sirius XM Shade 45 every single Thursday at noon for the new Boom Bap Classics and 3 p.m. for the throwbacks. And now that the mask mandate is done in New York, please understand that motherfuckers are still dirty. Okay?
Yes.
People don't use real toothpaste in New York. They don't use real shampoo or they don't use real bath stuff. Okay, so please stay social distance. Until next time, this is Inphamus Hour. See you then.